Okay, I am horrible at documentation, so I think it's time I fix that. Let me... nope. That's not what I wanted. Oh lord. Join areas. Thank you. So, I've been playing around with the idea of a drone submarine. And this thing's not that big. It's supposed to be... tip to stern should be about... half a meter, I believe. Let me try something. Yeah, here we go. Here's the grid. So each one of these grid spaces is about a meter, so that means that this thing should be about a meter. So if I add a box, cube, size 1 meter. And yeah. So the sub is about a meter and should be 3D printable because, yes, the sub's a meter. I've designed it to be 3D printable. Each one of these pieces here is its own separate component. The idea being that by having it modular, you can build it to any size specification that you want. So the tail piece prints out in 2 pieces. You've got the shroud for this is the shroud for the propeller. If I hide the propeller, the shroud is built to accept standard 22 millimeter bearings with an 22 millimeter bearings with an 8 millimeter bore. This part should probably hold or house the motor. So the motor and the servos for the directional planes will go in this component here. The front piece, I have the idea for having this be like casted acrylic that will mount to this component here, which is the forward control surfaces. So again, this component would print out and it'll have the watertight spaces for the servo controllers to control these the dive planes. Now at some point I'm going to have to put air escape holes up here, and I'm thinking of setting it up so that their natural position is closed, and then servos will control opening them, and that'll let the air out so the machine itself can dive. So then let me hide the control surfaces and the motor shroud. So these 3 pieces will house basically the guts of the machine. It doesn't really have a conning tower, but this top bulge here gives you easier access to the components in here if you have to do any like kind of minor repairs or stuff. Now that I think about it, it's not like it's going to give you much room, so that should probably be much bigger. Because again, this thing is only about 20 centimeters in diameter. But the general idea is you can add as many of these hub B pieces that you want to make the submarine as long as you need, with all the like add-on components that you want will be here in the pressure hull. So batteries, transformers, the computer itself that will control the different systems would all go in this space, and this space will be watertight, and these are basically the ballasts that you can flood to let the submarine sink. So to show you, let's take this front section here. Hold on, let me do something here. Alright, camera, and where's the sun? There. Now they're visible, but I can't select them. So just by adding more of this B component, you can make the submarine as long as you need it to accommodate the different components that you want to put in. So the idea is to have this open source so that anyone can download the files, print out the hull, and build their own research autonomous submarine for any purpose that you need. What I want to do is have this thing be able to actually circumnavigate like autonomously. The problem there would be the power, which you would need to use solar panels for, and there lies the issue that I've got to deal with. Because if I just wanted to make a boat, like a drone boat, there's someone who's already made that, and what they did was they put a sail on the top, and the sail has the solar panel on it. The other thing I was thinking was to actually put solar panels on the submarine itself. Alright, so you can put solar panels here on the sides, but because the submarine is perfectly round, that would cut the efficiency of some of the solar cells. So if it was more, say, oblong, then more of the surface of the solar cells would be facing upward. Maybe. Well, here's the base. The other question is like how to mount everything together. This glass piece would definitely have to be mounted from this component side, because the glass piece would probably have a hollow back for me to put the camera on, and so this piece would bolt on to this. Then the question becomes how to get the rest of the submarine together, and I was thinking just to have long screws that run the entire length of the submarine. That could probably work if you use like 4 long screws or 4 long studs that run the entire length of the submarine, and then 4 individual per 4 extra screws per individual component. Alright. Not a bad first draft for now. Okay, so from paper to 3D, at least I got this much down.